Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a really profound cosmic mystery, one that could challenge pretty much everything we thought we knew about visitors from other stars. We're talking about an object called 3I/Atlas.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the paradox we're about to explore. We've always expected things from deep space to be, well, noisy, active. So what happens when the next one is just quiet?
And that right there is the central question raised by the arrival of 3I/Atlas. It's an object that really forces us to reconsider that blurry line between a natural phenomenon and something else entirely. So let's set the stage here. Our story kicks off with the detection of this silent cosmic visitor. But as you're about to see, this is way more than just another rock floating through space. It's a true anomaly, one that just refuses to fit into our neat little scientific boxes.
But before we can get to the object itself, we really have to talk about the machine that saw it. Picture this, an unblinking, totally robotic eye staring out into the cosmos. And understanding this machine is absolutely crucial because how we saw this mystery is just as important as what we saw.
So what is Atlas? Well, it's our planet's unblinking eye. It was designed for pure machine vigilance, not for human curiosity. Its only job is to watch, constantly and without fail, for anything out there that might pose a threat to us.
And here is the most important part, right? This system is completely unbiased. It has no memory of old scientific debates, no preference for a comet over, say, a spacecraft. So when its emotionless circuits sound an alarm, you know the data is just undeniable.
And then, in July 2024, that alarm sounded. Now, we'd had two very different interstellar visitors before. First, the weird, fleeting ghost of Oumuamua, and then the much more predictable comet Borisov. But this third one, Atlas, was something else entirely. It was an object that would force what the source calls a cognitive fracture.
All right, so we know how it was found. Now let's get into the two impossible clues that Atlas picked up on. This is really where the story shifts from a simple discovery to a profound and, frankly, pretty unsettling enigma.
So the first clue is its scale. It's just unbelievably large. We're talking about an object that's potentially tens of kilometers across. I mean, that's basically the size of a small moon. A rogue rock that big just shouldn't be able to survive a journey between stars intact. Its size alone completely strains all of our current models.
And this quote, wow, it just brilliantly illustrates the difference in scale and what it implies. We're not talking about some little fragment anymore. We're talking about a behemoth that just sailed into our solar system, casual as can be, and seemingly in one piece.
Now this brings us to the central paradox of the whole thing. An icy object this massive should put on a spectacular show as it gets close to the sun, right? We'd expect its ice to vaporize, creating this huge, visible tail, just like a classic comet. But with 3I/Atlas, there's nothing. Just silence. No coma, no tail.
So, what do you do with these two impossible clues? A massive object that's completely silent? Well, it leaves science with two competing theories, and honestly, they're both equally unsettling. Is it nature, or is it technology?
The whole debate kind of boils down to this. For it to be natural, it would have to be the result of geological processes we've never even imagined, made of some exotic material that just doesn't react to the sun's heat. The other theory? That it's an artifact, a colossal piece of engineering, perfectly insulated to survive its journey and just ignore our star.
So why does a mystery like this matter so much? Because when our scientific models break down this completely, the challenge becomes internal. You see, an anomaly this huge doesn't just baffle our telescopes, it triggers a profound response deep inside our own brains. Let's look at how the mind itself confronts a mystery like this.
When we're faced with data that just fits no existing pattern, the problem-solving part of our brain, that's the prefrontal cortex, it just goes into overdrive. It starts burning immense amounts of neurological fuel, desperately trying to forge a new connection or create a brand new category just to make sense of the impossible.
And at the exact same time, another part of the brain, the insula, which acts like our built-in paradox detector, it becomes hyperactive. It's registering two conflicting signals at once, that primitive fear we feel from the object's massive scale and the deep, deep confusion from its silence. It's like an internal alarm bell that won't stop ringing.
All of this activity puts our brain's threat management system on constant alert.
It's basically the neurological equivalent of a never-ending drill, preparing the mind for a complete paradigm shift, a total change in how we see our place in the universe.
But here's the thing. This mental state of confronting a vast, silent unknown, well, it isn't just for astronomers. The source material suggests we can actually apply this cosmic mystery to our own lives and turn it into a personal challenge.
The source proposes this exercise, called the Dragon Trial. First, it asks us to identify the silent, massive challenges in our own lives, our Atlas mass, and then to figure out our missing tail. You know, that key piece of information or confirmation we feel like we need before we can finally act.
And this leaves us with one final and pretty provocative thought. When we confront an object like 3I/Atlas, a silent giant that just defies all our understanding, it forces us to turn our gaze inward. It makes us question the very nature of observation and what a mystery of this scale reveals, not about the universe, but about ourselves.